If we told you you could sign the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic in FM24 for under £1 million, I think you'd all be very interested. Well, spoiler alert, we found him. That's right, stick with us in today's episode of Wonderkid to Superstar, because we have got a very talented young striker that we're going to show you how to turn into a world-class forward. And in this simulation, he is going to absolutely blow your mind. Before we get started, I just want to point something out, because I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments about it, as we have been in recent days. But yes, there is a mustache on my face. I know it doesn't look great. Don't worry, it's been shaved off once we hit December. But the reason I'm growing it is we do something in the UK, I don't know if it's a worldwide spread thing, called Movember, where you grow your mustache for the length of November in support of men's health and just raising awareness for men's mental health in general. So whilst I usually would sit here and ask for likes and subscribes and comments, I'd really appreciate it if at the end of this video, reach out to someone, reach out to a friend you haven't spoke to in a while. You really never know how much that could help someone. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you could go out and do that. It would make growing this horrible mustache worthwhile, at least, even if just one person did that at the end of this video. But yes, let's go check out this player. And to do so, we need to head over to the Swedish divisions. And we're going to go to the Swedish side known as AIK. Now this is quite fitting because when this video goes out, I've pre-recorded this, I'll actually be in Sweden, in Stockholm, not to scout this player or anything, just for a holiday, but yes, it works out quite nicely. But we're going to go to their under-19 squad, filter by age, and you should find a 16-year-old by the name of Jonah Aser. Now if you've got him loaded in your save, amazing. If not, it might be because your database is too small. We have got some Swedish players loaded into this database here, but if you have a fairly large database, there's a good chance you will see him, and he is an absolute gem. Now you might look at him straight away and think, I mean, he looks okay, but maybe not amazing. Don't worry, we're going to show you just how good this man can become in this video. But let's start with the basics. He is a 6'5" forward at the age of 16. So at the age of 16, he's a huge physical presence with 13 strength. He's got 13 pace as well. Great jumping reach. He's got decent finishing and heading ability as well as some nice mental attributes to go alongside that. But more importantly, he has got a value of 250k to 2.5 million, meaning in most saves you can pick him up for a bargain fee. Whether you do it in season 1 or wait a year or so after scouting him, it probably won't matter. His transfer value is never going to skyrocket that much, but he does have a potential range of 140 to 170. Now that isn't the highest potential range you can get for a Wonderkid, but with Jonah Aser here, I feel like we've got to show him because of the value and also the fact that he suits this match engine down to the ground. If you don't know, in recent years, physical attributes have been so dominant in the FM world. If you have someone that's either really tall or really quick or really strong, it kind of outweighs whether they're good in areas like finishing or maybe their composure and decision making. If you've got a physical brute, they tend to absolutely tear through the match engine. And with Jonah being 6'5" at the age of 16, already with great physical attributes, I can tell you he is going to be an absolute star. So we're going to bring him over to our Real Madrid side and show you how we'll set him up for success. We'll be deploying him in a very basic preset 4-3-3 gegenpress tactic where I've switched some of the roles around, but very simply, Jonah Aser is playing as the solo advanced forward. Now he is more suited to the target forward role at the young age of 16, but personally I just don't like that role. I think advanced forward is a role that's going to do us a lot better over the course of this simulation. We're going to make sure he develops as a player in that role. We've got him being mentored by the likes of Luka Modric and Danny Carvajal, the players with good personalities, to try and rub off onto Jonah here and give him a better personality. Currently it's set to balanced. In your save, some of these attributes might be randomized, but in pretty much all of the ones I've seen, he is a 6'5" physical beast. Now he's got good potential here, and in terms of what we're going to do for his training, firstly, make sure he's focusing in on a role. We've got the advanced forward role here, and again, as we always do, we are leaving the additional focus blank just for the sake of these tests and to keep it fair for every player. But for you guys, one of my favorite additional focuses is the final third focus. I feel like it helps players so much in the in-game engine. There it is there. You can see it's working on his decision making and composure, taking a real interest in getting that up. Maybe you want to work on his passing. His technique could also be a good thing to work on, but Jonah is already in a very good position. Now realistically, he would not start for Real Madrid straight away, but for the sake of the simulation, we're going to ask him to play as many games as possible to see him at his maximum, as we always do in these Wonderkid to Superstar episodes. For you guys, develop him for a few years in your youth academy, loan him out once he gets to 18, and then maybe he'll be ready to play for you, depending on what level of club you are managing. But yes, he's ready to go, so let's simulate a few years ahead to see how he looks on the lowest end of that potential range. And this is perfect because we're 2 years on in 2025 and Jonah has just got to 138 current ability. I think it was when I checked, meaning this is him right near the lowest end of his potential range. Worst case scenario, your 1 million, 2 million pound investment will get you a player worth about 60 million quid here with amazing attributes straight away. His physicals have really started to develop a lot now. 15 strength, the jumping reach is still there, but he's got quicker as well, which is really helping him. His mental attributes have came on a lot as well. Really good off the ball work, anticipation, composure and decision making, they've all improved. With nice heading, his technique has got way better than it was before as well, with good finishing, first touch and dribbling ability. If we look at him as an advanced forward, you can see it's really starting to come together, and this is a striker now that could actually play at the age of 18 in a top division, top 5 European division easily with these attributes, and he is proving that in the in-game engine. Like I say, a player that normally looks like this in terms of attribute spread wouldn't be that great in the in-game engine, but because a lot of his attributes are focused in on those physical areas, he is an absolute beast in the in-game engine. Season 1, at the age of 16, he scored a goal a game in La Liga with a 7.46 average match rating. The year after, he hits 31 in 36 with a few more assists, and he is absolutely on fire. He is doing so well, developing into a top draw talent, but this is only him on the lowest end of that range. He's still got a lot of growth to get yet before we see him in his peak. So let's simulate a few years ahead, see just how good Jonah can become. As we simulate ahead, just to let you guys know, I do have my own channel, which you can find linked in the description down below. It's all Football Manager still, but it's more entertainment style. We do some Football Manager rebuilds, as well as some YouTube shorts about Wonderkids you might not have heard of. So if that sounds good to you, then come and check the channel out once this video is done, and I'd really appreciate any support over there as we push for 30k subs. And we're now in 2033, so we have passed around 10 years since the start of our save, and Jonah has been performing at the highest level for the last few seasons, becoming one of the world's best strikers, and you can see why we compared him to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Obviously he's Swedish, but he is just a physical man-mountain of a striker with insane attributes in the physical department. The mentals are great as well, and even his technicals, which were the weakest side of his game, have really started to come along. On top of that, he's now worth 100 million. He's got 15 pros in his coach report and only 1 con, and more importantly, if you think we're using some broken tactic, having him score loads of goals, it's not just us. This man is playing for the Swedish national team and scoring 43 goals in 53 appearances for a national side that wouldn't be expected to be totally dominant and scoring that many goals, which is a really great return from him. At the age of 26, he is now one of the world's best players. He's been scoring over a goal a game pretty much every season, including one season where he got injured. He still managed to do it. There was a year where he scored 52 goals in the league alone one season for Real Madrid. That would only have been at the age of 22, 23-ish, and he is just an insane player. But he's still got another 10 years left in the tank yet, so let's see him at the end of his career to see how many awards he's won. And here he is at the ripe old age of 36. He did in fact go for another 10 years, 79 appearances for Sweden, 52 goals, and an insane goal record. Even a few years ago at the age of 33, he hit his best season ever with an 8 average match rating and 53 goals in only 36 games. Now for once in these Wonderkids to superstars, for the first time in a while, we have got a Ballon d'Or winner. It tends to be strikers have the best chance of winning the award, and Jonah has done exactly that, winning it 4 years in a row between 2034 and 37. He's also won a 5th here, a 6th, a 7th, an 8th, and a 9th award, making him one of the most decorated players in football history. Now it is bonkers that he didn't win the award in 2040. That should have been his 10th. Justice for our man Jonah. Maybe if he was still playing international football, he could have done something there, but he is a wonderful striker that's definitely worth that investment of only £1 million or so. If you haven't checked him out in your save, scout him. If he is in that save, go and get him straight away, because he really could be the next Zlatan. So there we go, that's Wonderkid to superstar. Let me know in the comments who you want to see in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.